What about Hitler's reality? What happened to Hitler?
Hitler was a abused, neglected child that longed for attention and was constantly denied his attention until he became a young man and suffered a nervous breakdown based upon chemical warfare in World War I. This opened him up as a channel to receiving the energy of fear. But he was not a remnant of fear, he was a channel of fear. And he understood how to use this very wisely.
So was this the fear virus? He became a channel for the fear virus on our planet?
Yes. Through his exposure to certain chemicals in the trenches, it opened up his channel as he experienced devastation around him.
So then...
He's very misunderstood. Though he did not pass as many of you think he passed.
How did he pass?
He was much older, in a very warm climate, disguised heavily.
Which climate? Where did he go?
At first, he went down to the very tip of Africa and was smuggled through there. Then was brought over towards the very southernmost tip of South America, where colonization efforts had already been established, though there was a small period of time between him going from one continent to the other in order to protect while the rest of the planet dealt with the consequences of his actions.
So how did he die?
Old age.
So he never suffered in his physical reality.
He never felt that he was doing something wrong.
What about in the afterlife when he saw what he did?
He understood that this was part of his contract. And then in the perception of the fear that was installed in him, he saw why he took the road that he took.
Was he planning on taking a different road before?
He would have happily been an artist and bothered no one if they had let him.
How did he have so much control over so many people?
He was the perfect vessel for the fear virus.
Is the fear virus in other people now?
Definitely.
And when
always finds a way.
Is that almost like the devil?
Some have called it that. It's more than that, though.
So it's stronger?
It's almost, when we consider it from the other perspective, a very simplified version of it. You would think it would have a bit more magnanimity to it, how much it is and what it is. Giving it a single identity as a devil has always been quite humorous.
Right, well, but it was powerful. He was able to control so many people.
Definitely. That doesn't change, though. That is something that is very easily done by many leaders throughout history. Fear is the ultimate method of control.
That's true.
And whether you are a benevolent leader or a dictator, you will have to establish some form of fear in order to keep your kingdom in control.
Maybe that's why I'm not a good leader. Well, so in the afterlife, he didn't become one with fear since he channeled fear?
No. Fear cannot transcend into that.
Okay.
It is an earthly remnant.
I guess what I'm wondering is, did he feel guilty and bad about all the people he harmed?
No.
Because it was his contract?
It was not a feeling of guilt. It was a feeling of, I gave you the option to not make me do this, and you chose poorly.
So
and it is all your own undoing.
So he realized he had a better option and he didn't take that one.
He was denied a better option.
Oh.
He achieved his goals. He does not look at it as the massacre that we now know it as.
What was the spiritual purpose for him to be there, to do that?
Believe it or not, there were many secret efforts that were being made at the time in his work, and this was merely a cover for what they were truly trying to find. And the work is very similar to the work that we are doing now.
What kind of work was Hitler involved in that?
Yes, he was much more involved in what we would call the occult, or the transcendence onto other realms and dimensions, and was very in tune to this. In fact, some will even classify it as a journey that was furthered by him to the cutting edge at that point, and paved the way for the new age era of the 50s and the 60s to come through. Though there will never be any type of direct credit ever given in that sense. But the Nazis spent much time in Southeast Asia and India, all over the Middle East, while other troops were busy bombarding and keeping people busy. They were searching for things.
What were they searching for?
They were searching for what we're searching for.
What
they don't know and what they know exists. And they wanted proof. They wanted the crystals. They wanted the symbolism. They wanted everything that they could put together and piece together in order to make sense of it. Because there is a divine knowledge in all of it.
Were they able to get any of it?
They received many things.
What did they receive? And why, if they had divine knowledge, would they want to kill off part of the population?
They misunderstood what they received and felt that they needed to cleanse the earth. But this was only misunderstood by Hitler as a channel himself.
Well, that's a pretty big misunderstanding.
In the misunderstanding has created the only chance for your people to transcend.
My Jewish heritage, you mean?
No, your human heritage.
Oh.
Had he not continued his journey, we would have never had an atomic bomb. We would have never furthered ourselves to this point. It is unfortunate, but it is how the energy played itself out with free will. This has happened many, many, many times. It is just the most recent one in our memorable history. In each effect, every time you have an existence where something truly terrible happens, the knowledge that you gain from that when you cross over and go back is so immense that it allows you in that dimension to further your energy yielding potential. It is an accumulation. You accumulate while you're here. That is what it looks like. It is like an accumulation of happiness and misery, and they must be balanced. And when you take from that and you are able to efficiently fill them and balance from them, then you are able to regenerate. And then you evolve as a higher being.
So you have to have both in order to evolve?
Every time. You must have both. It has to equal. The experiences have to be of equal nature in order for you to evolve as a higher being.